If you hear any background noise, just please ignore it. Again, I'm trying to work with what they have here. Bad and Friends. Yeah, so if you've seen my channel, I posted like a couple videos about it, and I guess a lot of people have a lot of questions because it's kind of dead right now. And I could go into further detail on what Bad and Friends is, but I don't want this video to be too long, so just to give you, I guess, the basic rundown. Imagine your favorite show or video game with either the main character or some other character, and they make a bad choice, and it ruins their life. Or in some cases, they're given a choice, which either can ruin their life, but they don't pick that choice. But there's an alternative universe where they do pick that choice, and now they're fucked. Yeah, I guess more so what I'm trying to say is that the Bad and Friends is basically an alternative universe where certain main characters and their paths and like didn't go as planned, and now they got the bad ending instead of the good happy ending that they get in the canon. And this involves from like many characters. The three most notable ones that we've seen are Bipper from Gravity Falls, Beastward from Over the Garden Wall, and Icefin from Adventure Time. Those three being the most well known, though there are others like Demon Marco from Star vs. the Force of Evil, Evil Morty from Rick and Morty, Genocide Frisk from Undertale. You get my point. And there's tons of others. Don't read the wiki, by the way. There's tons of others. And I personally found when I first discovered this AU back in the Plague, I thought it was pretty neat. And it showed me a lot of these shows that I now know. And so that was fun. So you're probably wondering what is my AU. And that's what I'm here to talk about, as this video will mainly focus on my specific interpretation of the balance, and more specifically my AU, which involves some of my OCs. So first, let's just start with where I first started it. I obviously started this back when I first discovered it, back in the Plague, and I first started on Wattpad making a fanfic about it. And it kind of sucked, not gonna lie. More specifically, I made 2 books. The turkey I was planned to do 4, but school hit me hard. But that version of the story is very outdated right now, so I would not recommend it. Hence why I'm making this video, to give you a short summary of my AU, because yes, I'm still working on it, and some things have now changed. However, I could just tell you guys the whole story I have. I don't really want to explore it, as again, I have my Tumblr, and I'm still working on the story, so like, some things could change. Like, some things already have changed. And so I just want to give you guys a quick synopsis, as well as introduce some of my own OCs that I've made for the series. So let's start with the basis, shall we? The story starts with our main character, Cyclops. Yes, you make fun of that name now. You will learn his backstory throughout the story, but just all you need to know is that he is a time traveler. However, his powers broke, as he has this gem that harnesses all his magic. Unfortunately, he got into, I guess, some accident or whatever traumatic event that happened. The gem somewhat broke, and thankfully he's still alive because it isn't fully broken. However, his magic is now unstable, meaning he basically got nerfed. That's what I'm saying. Now, he eventually gets recruited into the Bad and Friends, and this is where pretty much the world building starts, as the rest of the story kind of gets convoluted. And I'd rather you guys just watch it unfold instead of just me telling you. So let's just focus on the world building and the other characters, as they're gonna be pretty important. The Bad and Friends is basically built on a nation that was started by Bipper, who worked with this being called Cruel. that guy. Now, why they did this? Bipper and the other two kind of got a sort of this Alice human sacrifice reference thing. Basically, they kind of sort of died, except not. And Core kind of helped them because I don't know. He thought it would be funny, and he finds them amusing. And that's basically the whole plot. Core just finds the entire balance amusing, hence why he just keeps them around. But yeah, basically he told Bipper, "Hey, make me this code. I mean government, and I'll keep you alive or something, and also don't have hope." And Bipper's like, "Okay." And so basically that's what he does. Core actually brings him a lot of these members by just summoning them at will to a portal. And basically a lot of crossovers happen, and they all just end up here confused. But it eventually just works out, and now they're kind of just okay with this. The nation lives in the city called Underland City, which is basically just Wonderland, except they're all even more violent and insane, and really, really dumb. Hence why it hasn't been overthrown somehow. The nation is made up of, at the moment, 5 districts: the tech support, the warden guards, the traveling seekers, the medical support, and then finally, the most important one, the script keepers. Tech support is just as it sounds. They mainly focus on the technologies and such, usually making just weapons and also the security, as well as totally not like propaganda or anything with their news and whatnot. The warden guards is also what you expect. They are in charge of like the prisons as well as like the army, but mainly the prisons. They're more focused on the prisons, as well as being able to like guard the area around. Traveling seekers, they're basically like their transport as such, like getting like supplies, but also other people, like escaped prisoners, and also do sometimes bounty hunting, I guess. They're also very pirate-like. Don't ask why. The medical district is also how it sounds. They're the supplies, hospital stuff, medicine. Sometimes do experiments, huh? What? Anyways. Finally, the script district, which is arguably the most lore-heavy one, so I'm just gonna sum it up because, again, I don't want to spoil everything. The script district basically holds all of their information, like all of the documents, send it to them, as well as they also acting as their court and judgment and law system, and it's totally not a cult in itself. Trust my word, guys. Speaking of courts, each of the trio do have their own personal courts, as they're supposed to function as like their personal servants or henchmen, to be honest. They mainly contain only like the actual canon balance, so no OCs. Now, Cyclops is the leader of the scripture district, because he obviously is. And it's why it makes him like both like an interesting, I guess, protagonist, being like almost like a threat to almost everyone, as he basically has access to everything you have. And that's not even getting to his other 2 friends. There are other characters in the series, obviously, mainly the canon ones as well. But in terms of like his 2 other friends, which will also play a major role in the story, are Thornite and Gamer Over. Thornite is the second in command of the warden guards. Unfortunately, while it kind of spoiled his battle, he is unfortunately blind because of it. But he still very functions, as he is very great with hearing, but also with just sensory in general, besides his eyes. Well, lack thereof, I guess. Now, Gamer Over is the second in command of the tech support, and unfortunately a former hacker and exploiter, so yes. And has a temper too, so you might get on the bad side unintentionally. And it's probably also a chaotic duo with Cyclops, not gonna lie. Now, there are many, many other characters I could talk about for this story. The only one I have in mind is, I guess for now, like Evil Morty, as he sometimes gets in with the trio, because he and Gamer have a thing. He is a regular member of the tech district, And like I said before, Yushi gets wrapped up with the other trio. Again, plenty more characters, but I be doing this for like an hour, and this video as I record is already 10 minutes, so like, I don't know. As of right now, the story is kind of mostly just humor with a bit of plot here and there, with themes of like despair and hope. It's mainly supposed to be just about fun and not really too serious, I guess, despite having clear themes and like certain subject matter. Because yeah, I will admit not the story, but like just the content can be like a bit like dark, I guess, since I mainly like dark humor, so yeah. But also just like delving into like their characters and like how and why they're like this. Again, I would definitely recommend like going over to my Tumblr if you want to know more of the story. I do want to like post some videos about it here on my YouTube though, but you know, stuff in real life, I guess. I definitely want to do some more like animations or edits relating to that, but I don't know, it might flop for all I know. As yeah, I mainly made this channel for that and not for the content I do right now. Again, I will try to post more videos where that be like my own like comics about it. As yeah, I'm right now working on some comics though. Art Fight has been taking up most of my time. And hopefully this little like AU thing will get more attention. Because it is like part of like my passion, aside from my other original projects which all of my other OCs stem from. Admittedly, I'm much better explaining things to like typing instead of just explaining it with my voice, to be honest. But I really don't want to get the video just so like people don't have much confusion of who are these characters and what things are about. I know I haven't answered like almost every question. You guys might still like wonder like who is this? What does this mean? And I do understand. But like I said before, I don't just want to like explain my entire AU storyline, as I wanted to like explore to like the content I make. Right now I don't really have a way to end this, so I guess just if you want to know more, then I guess like let me know and I'll probably make some more videos about it. Though that's all I got for now. Bye. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Kuro is kind of a bitch.